Welcome back, everybody, to the fastest half hour in television, and I gotta tell you something right now. The biggest compliment that was paid to you by a fan was simply, he's the kind of athlete that I would want my daughter to marry.
Oh, God. She said, who said that?
Well, you know something, though? I know how you pride yourself in being a role model. This is very important for you, isn't it?
It is. I think the fact that because kids they deviate so easily from their goals, their main objectives in life, to be someone or something in life. Because now with the drug scenes, and I think the exposures that young kids are experiencing now is quite detrimental. And I think for any kid to emulate an athlete or superstar, and most kids emulate athletes, I think it's an obligation, a lifetime commitment to us to make sure those kids follow the right road.
You know, at the top of the show, I alluded to the fact that on the cover of this month's edition of Ebony magazine, there was you and your wonderful family, and then there was the quote, "This is why I want the fight," and you had to go inside the magazine to find out. But for those who have not read the magazine, those who have not seen and listened to Sugar Ray Leonard concerning the fight with Marvin Hagler, tell us again why you have decided to come out of retirement for this one big fight. Why you wanted this thing so badly. Was it just for you?
It's just for me. I think you hit around the head there. A lot of people, we feel that the American dream is to live in Potomac, Maryland, a very exclusive neighborhood, to have 2 cars, to have a wife and 2 kids and a dog. I think there are more things than just the materialistic aspects of life. I tend to do what's going to make me happy. Before I sign an autograph for a young kid or a young lady, I must be content with myself. People also fail to realize when I retired some 5 years ago, I was 26 years old. I was a young man. Through the advancement of medical technology, my eye or the injury that I suffered, it's okay now. I mean, they can do wonders now. And I'm very confident. I don't think about my eyes. I don't think about no injuries. I consider myself a non-conformist. I'm doing what's going to make Ray Leonard happy. Another thing is the fact that I'm coming back for a fight, not for a career. I've had a career.
Well, you know something else? While I watched you doing your public workout, I watched you work out, one thing also came to mind that you said some time ago on television. You said, I want this fight because I'm human. It's an ego thing. There's nothing else I have to prove to anyone. It's simply an ego thing. He's in the limelight. Is that true?
Well, that's somewhat true. I mean, quite naturally. I said, well, Ray, what is involved in this fight? I mean, is it ego? Is it pride? Is it money? I mean, it's all the above. I mean, let's be honest with ourselves. I mean, let's be realistic. I mean, quite naturally, everyone has an ego, and for anyone to say they don't have an ego, I got problems with that. But the fact that the ego and the vanity and the pride and the limelight, those things are quite minute. I'm an athlete. I'm a fighter. I've always been a fighter. I'll be a fighter after I retire. The fact is, Hagler is he's the final chapter of my career. I've always wanted to fight Hagler. It's something that I always felt that was inevitable. It just happened, the fact that we happened to go other ways because of circumstances. But now this fight has become a reality, and I'm looking forward to it.
Sugar Ray Leonard has reportedly been preparing for this fight for over a year.
Oh, yeah, yes.
Why is it you feel, as you have so confidently said, and you're always the power of positive thinking, I know that for a fact, why is it you so positively feel I'm going to be the one to beat this man?
Well, I'll give you a brief synopsis. The way I prepared for this fight in a year, everything was done in stages. First of all, I had to convince myself that I wanted to fight, and I was going to deal with the media because they were the ones that was going to eat me up, be vicious towards me, be very pessimistic and cynical. I said, was I prepared to encounter that? I say yes. I want to fight. I don't care what no one says, and I'm not being outrageous or anything. I'm just doing what I want to do. Then it was a matter of conditioning stages, working out the cardiovascular, my legs, time and rhythm, going through the physical aspects of preparing myself for an event like this. All these things fell into like bi-monthly, and it was tough. It was difficult, but it was a necessity to prepare myself. I feel great now. I feel so confident now.
Do you have any pressure on you? Because you know what your fans who love you so much, like yours truly do, feel about you. You feel the pressure of not being on the canvas and not losing this fight? Is there pressure on you?
Well, you know, I have to put that aside. You know, quite there are a lot of people that care for me, and God, it's a great feeling to be admired by a lot of people. And a lot of people like me for me, and not because of who I am, which makes you feel very good. But erased it from my mind. You know, when I took this venture, it was like Ray Leonard must do what Ray Leonard must do. If there's any pressure, there's pressure on Hagler. He's expected to win. He's expected to knock me out. He's a big man. He's supposed to be impervious to pain. He hasn't been beaten in 11 years. So the pressure's on him.
Why did you take this fight without a tune-up?
Because for me, what makes me tick is motivation. When I fought Kevin Howard, you know, because people always refer back to my fight in 1984 against Kevin Howard, and he knocked me down. They said, well, now, if you didn't have it with Kevin Howard, you didn't have it with him, you can't have it with Hagler. They fail to realize when I fought Kevin Howard, it was a no-win situation. I was fighting a guy from obscurity. Hagler was down the road. I was going to fight Hagler down the road. But I just wasn't up for the fight. If I beat the guy, no big deal. But to have lost to Kevin Howard, it would substantiate people saying, I told you, kid, you don't have it.
Any nervousness right now?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm about to step in the ring for the biggest fight of my life and career. And, but that's good. It's a positive nerve. I think it's the anticipation of a reality.
Have you carried the weight well?
Looks pretty good on me.
No, I'm talking about mentally and the way you feel inside.
Yeah. I mean, hell, I feel great. I've always been a positive thinker. I've always been a young man that whatever he's about to encounter, quite naturally, he's been quite analytical of it.
Sugar Ray Leonard.
Nice seeing you again, buddy.
We'll see you in Las Vegas.
We're on the streets again, right?
Okay. We're visiting with the great Sugar Ray Leonard. We'll be back with Angelo Dundee right after we pause for these messages. Don't you dare go away. The trainer's next. Welcome back, everybody. We told you that we're going to be visiting with the great trainer, Angelo Dundee, behind or in front of, whatever you want to say. Every great fighter is, of course, a great trainer, and there is nobody that is more respected in the ring, in the corner, among boxing fans than this man right here, Angelo Dundee. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I got to ask you something right now. How do you become a great trainer? Is it the relationship with a great fighter that has the both of you meshing together? Does that make a great trainer?
Well, first of all, I don't want to draw it out too long. You got to have good teaching. See, I was blessed when I was a kid back in New York City when it was a mecca of boxing in 1948, 49, 50, 51, 52. I had at my disposal the greatest trainers of all time. Ray Arcel, Chicky Ferrara, Whitey Bimstein, Charlie Goldman, I can go on and on, Teddy Bentham, who was around from the coast. I had all these guys, and they were right there, and they gave of themselves freely. I learned from these great trainers, and I had that basis. But as far as, you know, what you do with your fighter, you're as good as your fighter. I mean, you're as great as your fighter. But what's on the stool that counts. You're just there as a added starter, so to put a little spice into the situation. If you got a talent, you can direct it. There's no problem. Because it is teamwork, by the way. It's rapport with each other, the way you bounce off each other.
Now, the viewers, the boxing fans, see you in the corner of a Muhammad Ali, a Sugar Ray Leonard. Is that relationship with Sugar Ray Leonard as real as what you just said? Is it a relationship that is very cohesive?
Oh, sure. We respect each other. We bounce off each other. We like each other, by the way. We get along real well. And I enjoy being with him because he's such a great talent. Because whatever I might direct in my own little way, he can produce because of his talent.
One of the things I said to him in the first part of the show is, I said, Sugar, I watch your workouts, your public workouts here, and I say to myself, why didn't he take a tune-up? Angelo Dundee, why didn't he take a tune-up?
Not necessary, because he got a little taste of why not take a tune-up. Because when he fought Kevin Howard, they saw the end result of a guy taking a tune-up before he fights a big fight. Couldn't get juiced up. In other words, it's not just good to fight a fill-in. I'll give you a little case in point. Ray came down to Miami Beach a couple weeks before that Kevin Howard fight, and he was hitting a light bag. And the sound of a bag don't sound the same with a true pro, your fighter. You recognize the bag, it's really singing. This thing was stuttering. And I sort of walked over to Ray, he was hitting light bag, hey man, what are you doing? You're dogging it. And he sort of laughed at me. He couldn't get juiced up for the fight. Don't have to be juiced up for this fight. He's fighting Marvin Hagler, man. He's sky high. This kid was flying over the Intercontinental Hotel one morning. I had to take him down and bring him back to his room.